Good afternoon. This is Beth Bolus, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what leaky gut is. Been doing a little research today, and this is something that has continued to come up in some conversations that I've been having with some of you. And leaky gut, what in the world is it? There is an ancient saying that says that health begins in the gut, and there has been more recent as in, say, the last decade, of tons of research that has backed up where health issues really reside and begin in the gut. And let's talk about, even things like cardiovascular health, things that are happening in our mind, that brain fog that happens with many people, things like oops, my phone's ringing, let me turn this off, and things that make us not well, things that make us not be able to keep up. We begin to get that lag as we get older. We begin to maybe not be able to keep up with our children, keep up with the demands of work, keep up with our grandchildren. What are some of the things and some of the keys that scientific research has found? There has been such an immense amount of research in this area. And if you guys know me, I love to research. And so having done and spent quite a bit of time on this, not just today refreshing my memory, but and you know me, I've been trying to make myself more healthy because I really suffered for about a decade with my health. And so some of these things that are out there, if you don't keep yourself up on a regular basis, you don't know what's out there to help make you better. So leaky gut is caused by foods that we eat, and it's caused by things that have lectins in them. Well, lectins are elements that are found in foods like gluten, things that are found in even tomatoes. So there's certain, and there's more, but there's certain foods that produce these lectins in our gut. And what happens and what can happen in our gut is that it becomes kind of like when this is a razor, right? Well, this fell in my shower the other day, and you see this part, I'm going to be really careful there, right? It fell. Well, I didn't know it had fallen and had broken, and I cut my leg, right? So see that razor that's sticking up in the back? Well, those lectins kind of create punctures. Imagine that's like a scalpel, right? It's so razor thin, so thin, and it just sliced down my leg as I was shaving. And so those lectins, and I didn't know that I had done that, right? And so that puncture, that wound in my leg was a source of a wound. Well, those lectins kind of do that to our gut. And they create these holes in our gut that allow bacteria and other gunk that's supposed to flush through our system and flush out like we're created to. But when those lectins create little holes in our gut, instead of it getting out and being eliminated, they get into our body. And so inflammation occurs. So all these things happen. The inflammation occurs in our joints, the inflammation occurs in our hearts, and it eventually, because we have this, everything flows to the brain, right? So we begin to get brain fog, and there's some things that happen in our brain that research is readily available now, where it interferes with the processing that happens in our brains. So that breakdown happens, and we don't think as well. Well, these are things that our doctors and people that are in pharmaceuticals, they can readily maybe try to cover up and mask those symptoms. But let me propose an idea, right? A lot of people would rather go and cover up the symptoms. What if you could solve the symptom by making the problem go away by eliminating the issue. Well, you might be asking, well, Beth, how in the world can you do that? Well, let me tell you a little bit about what the research that I've read about tells us. It tells us that those cardiovascular health, that our brain health, that our blood sugar, that our gut health can all be affected by this leaky gut. And so how do you get rid of it? Well, there's things that are created, that are grown out there in nature that are good for us. And some of those things I've already let you know that have those lectins in them that break down our gut. Well, how do we repair them, you might be asking? There are things like licorice root. There are things like that are so good in helping us heal our gut. There are let me turn to my notes because I forgot what it's called. L-arginine is good in also helping heal us, and so is CoQ10 and vitamin A and vitamin E and all of these things. And you could go spend an incredible fortune in trying to concoct your own formulary, right? To try to make sure that you have the premium stuff that you're putting in to heal all these inflammation things that cause cardiovascular disease, that cause our brains to become diseased, so that we don't function at that prime element, so that our muscles begin to break down and they don't function at their prime. So, and even our body just does not heal at the rate that it should. Well, let me go for a squirrel second. When I cut my leg the other day with that razor, right? Because I've been able to get my nutrition on point, it used to take me an enormous amount of time to heal. I was the slowest healer. I would have maybe a surgery. I had my knee replaced before I was 40. Man, that wound took forever to heal. It was terrible. And yes, granted, that was a complete incision. That was really bad. But when I saw, and even I've had like cuts and things over through the years, like maybe in cooking in the kitchen or whatnot, working in the yard, but I realized how much better my body is functioning, because when I took the bandage off my leg the other day, last night before I went to bed, I wanted to make sure it was clean, and I looked at that and going, man, my body's healing so much better. And if my gut health wasn't so much more on point, my sleep would still be off. I would still be having all the incredible joint discomfort that would land me in bed for days at a time. I would still continue to have the brain fog that basically really just took me out of really furthering a lot of studies that I was doing and pursuing, because the gut health, I mean, I suffered from that, guys. Not just me. This is millions of other people too, right? That have suffered from gut health their whole life. And how do you get it back? I'm going to share with you. And if you know me, you know that I'm going to tell you that the nutritional supplements that I take are the bomb. They are the best. They are, number one, the ingredients in there, and I keep listening to the inventors of this. All these patents that are out there, hundreds and hundreds of them that are out there, with Lavelle, with Thrive. And it's cutting edge technology, guys. And I don't just take their word. I go research it, because that's just I research what's going to go into me. I research what is behind their thinking in all of this. And so it just intrigues me. That's just kind of the nerd part of me, okay? I love to do the research. And so it has the proponents and the components that your body needs to heal leaky gut, so that's just fake. I'm going to talk, real. The poop that gets into your body through the leaky gut creates the inflammation in your body, makes you feel like crud, okay? And for that to heal, your body has to heal the gut lining. And it's razor thin. It's so thin. It doesn't take a whole lot for those lectins to puncture it. And granted, our diets today, we really have a really difficult time being that conscious of everything that goes into us. But studies and research has shown that when we can get our gut point on health, and eliminating the lectins are almost nearly impossible, no matter what kind of diet you try to do. Healing that gut naturally is the way to go. So if you have gut problems, if you have inflammation, if you are not able to keep up with the activity levels that make you feel so good or used to make you feel so good, and you would love to get back to those things, reach out to me. I want to help you. If I can reach just one person today, that's my goal, because I know what it's like not to be able to function and to do what I wanted to do. And I'm so fortunate that now I'm able to do, most of the time, not every day, but most of the time, I'm able to have the activity level that makes me happy, that makes me comfortable. At 53, I can't complain. Guys, because my gut health has gotten so much on point, I don't have all the allergies, I don't have the skin breakouts, my brain fog has disappeared, my joint discomfort is greatly diminished. I don't have all the irritable bowel syndromes. I don't have to figure all these things out. All those things and all those habits that I'd created for myself because I was not well, I'm beginning to get rid of them. I'm finding that they're thrown out the door because now I have a new set of habits because my gut is healthy. I don't have to suffer from leaky gut, right? Leaky gut. Most of you, or a lot of you, may not even know what it is. A lot of doctors don't stay up with the current research. There are blood tests that are now available that you can have tested to see whether you have leaky gut. It is fairly expensive. Some insurance companies don't want you to have it, but it is something that is incredibly important. Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you have questions about leaky gut, drop them down below. Do you know what it is? Tina, I bet you've heard about it. And thanks for being here. If you haven't heard the whole thing, go back and watch it. And I hope that I've given you some valuable things to think about. Leaky gut. It is, when doctors come out of their cardiovascular research and being the cutting edge researchers in gut health now, because they realize that so much rides on our gut health. And there are other products out there that address this, but for the value and the premium quality that Thrive by Lavelle gives us for the price, you can't beat it, guys. For a 30-day supply, you can get this for free if you refer to friends. You're paying for out-of-pocket for the first time, possibly, unless you already have 2 friends to go with you. And if you want more details, let me talk. Reach out to me. Let's talk. Let's see. I'm reading the comment that somebody just put in here. Oh yes, all the stomach issues because of leaky gut, and what we put into our bodies is what we get. If you want to function at your prime, you've got to put prime ingredients in. And let's face it, some of us really may be struggling at this point during the pandemic. Not even after the pandemic. If you hear this later on, it's always critical what you put into your body. And reach out. I'm here for you. I'm your Thrive lady, and let's do this, guys. I want you to feel as good as I do at 53. I feel like I'm in my 30s. Okay. I feel wonderful, and I want you to feel that way too. You guys have a great afternoon, and reach out to me and let me help you out. Catch you later.